And welcome to ESO Daily. I am your host, Mystic Raven. Alright guys, so I have the new Nightblade Healer build. Now, disclaimer, this is a build ideally set up as a additional trial healer. So if you have a Templar or a Warden or whatever and you're using a Nightblade Healer, this build is going to work out really good in those trial scenarios. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get into it. Let's break it down. Going into the character sheet, this is a Resto Destro build. It is a 511 config. You'll see our max magicka is at 37,632. Magic recovery is 1,866. Now, I know a lot of people want to hit about 19, between 19 to 2,000 recovery. I will get into that in this build. Don't worry. Spell crit without all gold is 50. It will get up to about 52 once you gold everything out, so don't worry about that. To the left, you'll see magicka allocated at 58, 6 at health. We're using max health and max magicka. You don't need recovery. You won't need it. You can go with the max and you'll be fine. I am a vampire. Keep in mind that will raise up. That's why the recovery is a little low. So once you hit stage, I want to say 2 or 3, you'll be fine. We are using the Thief Mundus. Okay. Going on the other staff side. Morning, Sylvia. Hope you're having a good weekend, or I hope you do have a good weekend. You'll see the magicka drops a little bit and our health goes up. So 35.6, okay, on this side, and 37, okay? Now, coming into the sets, let's get into the sets. This is going to be a little different, guys. I'm going to be using the Master Architect. Yep, I didn't stutter. Nightblade Healers. Keep in mind, the strength of the Nightblade Healer is dealing damage on top of healing, right? But why the Master Architect? Well, it's simple. When I use an ultimate ability, you and 2 closest allies within 28 meters is going to gain the Major Slayer. Yep, for 14 seconds, not 10 seconds. So typically Major Slayer is only applied for 10 seconds, but I'm getting an additional 4 seconds for me and my allies. Once Major Slayer is applied to me, I'm going to deal more damage. When I deal more damage, my funnel health healing will spike up. That's very important because it's the biggest hot the Nightblade Healer has. So that's why we're going to go ahead and take advantage of this set. I will show you the skills that's really going to impact that. So we do have the Lightning Staff, the Master Architect, Nirnholm increase with fire damage glyph. That's ideal. Master Architect Restoration Staff, Nirnholm with a weapon damage enchantment, ideal. Sentinel. I like the Sentinel set. The reason being, it offers the utility. 524 stamina to allies within 5 meters every second for 8 seconds. That's huge. That usually will, when it procs, will outdo even the Master Restoration Staff. So that's why I really like it, right? It has a long cooldown, but very effective because it has an AoE effect, as long as they're within the vicinity. Really nice. Jorvlin, this is the second set. This is how we're going to get the Master Architect set to increase by 4 seconds. On top of that, increasing our major buffs. So this is really, really nice. It's going to give us recovery, additional healing, increase the duration of all major and minor buffs and damage shields you apply to yourself and allies by 40%. Really, really sweet. Okay. Sentinel divides, so keep in mind this is heavy, this is medium, divides, max health ideal. Jorvlin's Guidance Sash, divides, max magic ideal. Jorvlin's Guidance Gloves, divide, max health ideal. Jorvlin's Gloves Infuse, max magic ideal. Jorvlin's Guidance Shoes, divide, max magic ideal. Master Architect Necklace, Arcane, increased spell damage. And 2 Master Architect Rings, Infuse, both max magicka recovery. Now let's go ahead and get into the skills. Primary Restoration Bar, Healthy Offering. This is a great burst heal for the Nightblade Healer with the changes to Summerset. You're going to sacrifice your essence, healing an ally in front of you for 10,255 health, but draining your own health over 8 seconds. So it's at a cost of almost 4K. Very important to keep your hots down when you utilize this. When you do it, you won't even notice it. It's not a spammable. You just want to go ahead and apply it to the rotation, because when you also apply it to the rotation while your health is being drained, you also gain minor mending, increasing your healing done by 8%. really comes in handy. Healing Springs, no big change here. Really nice heal. Combat Prayer buff, also minor Berserk. That's going to increase by 11.2 due to the Jorvelins. Siphoning Attacks. This is going to help you sustain your Magicka, right? Plus, it's going to give you a self-heal. Really nice. Plus, when it ends, you're going to get an additional 4,270. So you keep that up, you'll be fine. Inner Light on this bar to give you your max Magicka 5% so we can maximize these healing effects. And we're going to keep Aggressive Warhorn on the front bar this time with this build. Now, keep in mind, if you're in a regular 4-man, just go back. You can use Arterums, or you can use Spellpower Cure along with, I would always suggest Julianos, because that is the strength of the Nightblade Healer. It always has been. Once again, the more damage you deal with Funnel, you're going to heal more. You're going to spike up that damage. Really nice. I will be giving a build update for that general build. But once again, this is just for like a secondary healer for trials. Okay, back bar. Sap Essence, the big burst heal for AoEs. Ads. The more ads you have, the more this will do. Plus, it's a form of getting your major sorcery, right? Really big heal for Nightblade healers. When there's trash mobs, don't worry. Nobody's going to die. Why? Because you're using Sap Essence. Really comes in handy. Funnel Health, the bread and butter of the Nightblade healer. You're going to go ahead, use this throughout the rotation. It will go ahead and heal 29% of the damage inflicted every 2 seconds for 10 seconds. You want to let that resolve. You do not want to spam it. Refreshing Path. It's going to give you a damaging effect, a healing effect, and then on top of it, you're going to get the Shadow Barrier. It's going to activate that Shadow Barrier passive. Okay? So when we activate it and we go into the character sheet, now our resistance is 18 and 17. 18 between the two. Okay? Coming over, we're going to use Energy Orbs. Energy Orbs is our another hot, and also it offers the utility. All right? Elemental Drain. This is going to be if somebody doesn't use Radiant Aura or the other healer doesn't have Ele Drain. If the other healer has Ele Drain, it's not bad to have the other healer with it. If you have a Templar with Radiant Aura, it's almost pointless to have Elemental Drain. You can slot in another ability as you want. Now, since I am going to be using the Architect set, I'm going to be using Soul Harvest as my other ultimate. So keep in mind, during boss encounters, I'm still probably going to most likely use Aggressive Warhorn. But when I am in trash fights, this is the lowest cost ultimate. We got 250 and we got 70. I could just pop this on trash, like hit them, and then all of a sudden, boom, I'm bumping everybody up with, I'm bumping me and 2 other people up with that major savagery. Okay? Really nice. Plus, keep in mind, while you have an assassination ability slotted, and right here, when with this slotted, when you deal critical damage, you grant you and your group minor savagery. So it's another buff applied to your stam users. So really comes in handy. So because you're going to deal damage with the Funnel Health and the Refreshing Path. That too, coupled with this being slotted, buff applied. All right, so there's that. Let's go ahead and get into the champion points. Starting off with the Apprentice. You'll notice Bless at 1208, it's not at 14. Remember, as a Nightblade healer, you're dealing damage and healing. That's the strength. So you don't want to take this up to 14 because you want to allocate some points into your damage. Elf Board 1208, Elemental Expert 10.15, Spell Erosion 2542. Coming over to Staff Expert 1210, we're going to be using burst damage with the Funnel Health and Sap Essence, so Master at Arms 20.15. We keep 75 points in for the Butcher passive. We're going to be dealing a little bit of dot damage with our Refreshing Path, so we're going to take Thaumaturge up to 904. Coming over to the Warrior, Ironclad at 40, Spell Shield at 16. Hardy's at 37. I am a Dunmer. I do recommend Dunmer for Nightblade healers, but if you want to go with Argonian, Breton, or High Elf, you can do that. Elemental Defenders at 1208. If you are another race, you might want to jack this up to about 14 and offset the difference. Thick Skin, 611. Light Armor, 37. Bastion, 1208, just in case we use Healing Ward or Barrier. Quick Recovery, 6.17. Coming over to the Tower, Warlord, 23. Tenacity is at 14. Arcanus 14. Healthy is at 909. Tumbling at 20. Shadow Ward at 20. And that is how the champion points are allocated. Now, keep in mind, guys, you can use whatever monster set you want. Also, if this is, like I said, meant for as additional healer to a trial. If you're in a 4-man, I would still use Spell Power Cure Orums, either one of those two sets, and more likely Juliana's. Why? You get that extra spell damage, and you're going to be healing more and dealing damage more. So it comes in handy for the Nightblade Healer. But once again, this build is badass. I was like, I can't believe this is working. I can't believe this is going, this is crazy. An extra 4 seconds on the Major Slayer buff applied. We're alphaing the buffs. We got everything. We're utilizing the Nightblade to its effectiveness. And once again, that's dealing damage and healing. And once again, I really love it. I'm really excited about this build. I can't wait to take a look at it. Morning, Robert. I can't wait to use this build live. I can't wait. I am so pumped up that I was able to do these two sets, the Javelins and the Master Architect. Can't believe it, but Nightblade Healer, bam, pulls it off. He pulls it off. He makes it work. Great, great, great. Once again, it's awesome. Love it, love it, love it. But if anybody has any questions or comments, please post below. I want to thank everybody today, and once again and always, have a nice day.